This is the Pro2 Lat Pulldown. It works the largest muscle in the back, the latissimus dorsi, sometimes called the lats. Also works the biceps across the elbow joint. The latissimus dorsi, in conjunction with some of its helping muscles, they produce many joint actions at the shoulder joint, which can make achieving correct technique quite challenging. Let's get set up. When getting set up, we want to adjust the knee pad. The knee pad should be in such a position so that when we sit down, it sits snugly or firmly across the top of the knee. We then adjust the weight. We now put our hands in position. The hand position is just outside of shoulder width apart. We sit down, placing our knees under the knee pad nice and snug. We're ready to get going. We keep our chin up or neutral, our stomach braced. We then squeeze our shoulders down out of our ears whilst pulling down. We keep our elbows forward underneath the bar, pulling just down to chin height and controlling back up to top range. Shoulders down out of the ears as we're pulling the bar down, keeping the elbows forward, pulling the bar down to chin height and controlling back up to top range. Repeat this for the desired number of repetitions. Some of the common mistakes that can occur on a lat pull down, and there's a fair few, some of the common ones, is pulling with the bicep and not engaging the back and shoulder girdle muscles. What this would look like, you'll see the shoulders will stay up into the ears as we pull the bar down to chin height. So make sure as we initiate the pull of the bar that our shoulders come down out of the ears at the same time. Another common mistake that's seen when we're lifting too heavy a weight, or sometimes towards the end of a lifting set and we're fatiguing, is as we pull down, everything is correct, and as we get near bottom range, the elbows flare backwards. You want to try and avoid this. Keep the elbows forward and the bar just down to chin height. You will also see people, when lifting, to try and engage the shoulders, they will extend through the spine and try and pull. Once again, we want to keep our body in a neutral position. So we keep our chin up, our chest high, and our stomach braced as we perform our repetitions. And the old classic is those that are just wanting to lift too much weight and they start putting momentum into the action. One of the important points for us to remember, you would have seen all these demonstrations are being done to the front of the body. The reason we do them to the front of the body is twofold. Number one, we know that it actually recruits the latissimus dorsi to a greater degree than when we go behind neck. When going behind neck, you'll see that it actually pushes our upper spine into a more extended position. We want to try and avoid this extended position and keep ourselves neutral. There's multiple different ways that we can also use this handle. Hand wide position. Now, this is an intentional position. Remembering this, hands wide, I initiate by leaning back into a 45-degree position. This action here is going to work more into the posterior shoulder and middle upper back. I squeeze my shoulders down, take my elbows wide so that hand, elbow, shoulder all come through in line. This is for the posterior or rear shoulder muscles and middle upper back. You can also hold the handle in a reverse position. There's two variations to this. The first of these, if I remain in an upright position, it recruits more of the bicep, still working the latissimus dorsi, but more bicep in the action. Or I can lay back to a 45-degree position. Remember, this is intentional. What we're looking to do here is now recruit still bicep, but trying to make the latissimus dorsi do more work across the shoulder joint through this action before controlling back up to the top range of motion. If you want to balance out your training program, the exercise that you would include that does the opposite joint actions to this is the shoulder press.